There are so many elements out there in the world that can put pressure on our shoulders.
Right. Do I fit in? Do I drive the best car? Am I in the best shape?
Absolutely. And that can all be drastically compounded depending on the job you work or the industry that you're in.
Now imagine being a teenager and battling these pressures every single day.
Well, on this week's episode, we're going to meet a couple who took dealing with that as entertainers, and they're giving the youth the strength they need to stand tall in who they are.
It's all about equipping our young artists, helping them to navigate through life so they have a positive identity and self-worth.
Today, we rise to empower our youth. I'm Cory.
And I'm Tymme.
I moved out to California from the East Coast.
I came to LA from Hawaii.
The goal was to be a star.
So I ended up in Hollywood.
For 15 years, I warmed up crowds on American Idol, Dancing with the Stars, and even spent the last decade touring the world as a DJ.
I started as a dancer and performed for artists like Aaliyah, Missy Elliott, and Will Smith. I then authored 3 books and became a pastor.
But through it all, something was missing.
I felt this desire to be a part of something real.
A movement that would change communities.
To tell stories of strength built on people's passions.
Driven by their courage and giving the world hope.
So we've come together to celebrate unsung heroes from around the world. This is the Rise Effect. All right, I'm excited today. We have a legend in entertainment, Eddie Garcia, one of the most sought out names in the world of dance and choreography.
Yeah, like when we mention people like J-Lo, Paula Abdul, even Miss Jackson.
Yes.
He's been in some of her most iconic music videos.
Not only that, he was handpicked by Michael Jackson to be a part of a few of his record-breaking international tours.
That's wild. It's completely insane. But you know what? I'd venture to say, even though he's had amazing accomplishments in his career, I'd say he's most proud of Camp Me.
That's right. Their mission is movement plus empowerment. They are equipping the next generation of dancers, not only artistically, but authentically.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. So you know what? You know what time it is, Tymme?
I think it's time to go to camp.
Get them s'mores. We are here with the legend himself in the flesh, Eddie Garcia. Thanks for letting us just crash camp.
Thank you for coming. Thank you.
I love it.
We love having you here.
I love it. So
Great.
we talked a lot about, obviously, your story, what you've done. Your resume is extensive. But I want to know, where did it start for you, Eddie?
Well, I actually started as a tap dancer, and someone recommended that I go into a place called Dupre Dance Academy, which was in Hollywood. I went there to go search out tap. When I walked in, you know, they weren't used to seeing boys my age coming to look for dance.
Right.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
way back in the day. You know, dance wasn't quite cool yet for boys.
Right, right.
So when I went in there, they were like, would you be interested in taking like ballet and jazz? And I was like, no, I just want to do tap. You know, I was like 12 and a half.
Right, right.
They had me watch a couple classes. They were like, if you just try it out, you might like it. And I must say that my first teachers were so nurturing to the craft of dance. It really did put that seed in me that made me love it. It's because of Jackie Slight, Billy Goodson, Doug Caldwell, all those teachers. Each of them was so unique and different and gave me something, gave me a gift. And it was what led me to dance it professionally. I see nowadays, you know, because social media is so prevalent and things are so immediate, I'm trying to provide an opportunity for young people to experience a positive way of learning. They don't feel the pressure what life is bringing them.
Yeah.
They can actually, like, you know, we come up into the mountains to let go of all those things so
Yeah.
that they can really embrace who they are as people, which it will hopefully be the thing that leads them to be great dancers if they want to be.
So you mentioned, you know, when you first started, it wasn't cool.
Yeah.
So how did you handle that? Like, what obstacles were in your way when you were starting to dance?
I literally was the only boy, and I was bullied quite a bit. And dance gave me a sense of confidence that I didn't really realize I had. I relate to these shows when you see like the little geek squad. I'm like, oh yeah, that one was me. You know, oh, that was me.
Yeah.
Being bullied, it was crazy, you know, because a lot of kids, they're like, oh, yo, you dance? And I was like, well, why is that a bad thing? I remember talking to my counselor at high school because I was like, hey, look, I have this opportunity. I'm to do this job. And he goes, oh, we'll just get you put on independent study. And I said, okay. And he goes, you have a pretty clear understanding of what you want to do. So now what you got to do is give yourself an opportunity to do that in a nice, healthy space. And I went, okay. And I worked quite a bit as a kid in the TV industry, and I surrounded myself as much as possible with positive people. It's another thing I'm trying to teach the kids is like, you want to be friends with everybody because how much easier is that? And if they find that connection, hopefully that boosts their confidence. And my goal is so they can go home and people see a difference, see maybe that little spark, that little pow. I hope that each of these kids is able to understand that they matter, and it's through that they will be able to share something with someone down the line that will make a difference in that person's life. Every teacher I bring in here is really special because it's funny, we all kind of say the same thing, but in different ways. But they're all positive people. They make you feel good about who you are. We have a rotating staff. I'm really blessed to have a wonderful group of friends all throughout the industry. I don't even know that the kids always realize who they're taking from.
Well, that's what I was going to say. It's an extensive list. Like, if you go to the faculty page, you've got some amazing, you've got folks that have taught here, like Tara Hughes and Chris Judd, Liz Imperio. You've had, I mean, they've worked with anybody who's anybody in the industry. It's so extensive.
So as a teacher at Camp Me, this experience has been, I would say, really different than teaching on convention or master classes at a studio. This is a much more intimate space. And with Eddie and Christine, just the people they are, it's such a loving and inclusive environment that I really feel like you're walking into a space where even as a teacher, you can grow and express yourself. When Eddie invites you in, he doesn't give you all these stipulations. He's like, do you? And I asked you because I trust you and I think you're an awesome person. And so it just already inspires you to kind of go in and be ready to inspire the kids. Something I think is really cool about Camp Me is that it affects students in a very emotional and uplifting way. The kids walk into this space and they're not just thrown into a class with a whole bunch of people they don't know. They're thrown into this environment where they have to bond and get to know each other outside of a classroom. And so once they're in that classroom, I feel like there's more trust to be vulnerable. I like coming into this space, and you might have saw with my class, like we break it up with some improv where we kind of transfer our emotion to the next dancer before we even do anything else. It's just this space of freedom, I feel like. And what I just saw with the kids in my class was like so beautiful. And I just saw a transformation from the start of class to the end of class. And I think that Camp Me really helps facilitate that through the teachers, through the activities they get to do outside of dance. Like, how bonding is it? Like, you take this class and then you go climb ropes and you have to trust the people you're on those ropes with. And then, it's a really awesome way to kind of dig in and find all these different aspects of your personality and soul and share them with the kids around you, and then get to share your passion of dance together. It's beautiful.
What makes Camp Me so unique? Because you went from going to an incredible counselor to now becoming a counselor. That's what you are.
I think it's that chance to get into a space that feels safe, that they can express themselves and they don't have to prove anything. They don't have to do stuff perfect. I was like, it's not about the perfection in what you do. It's about the heart that you put in. Yeah. The heart and soul is what's going to carry you through life. Like, I'm trusted with these kids. The parents trust us. Right. Yeah. And I talked to their parents. I said, I just want them to experience something, and we can hopefully get them to feel really, really special.
So my experience with Camp Me, this is my third year coming as a student, and all 3 years it's been really interesting to see how I've grown and how I've been so different each time. So my first 2 years I was a little younger. I was still in high school. Now I'm a sophomore in college, and I've definitely gained a lot of experience between those years, which is really cool to come back now and watch the other girls and see them start to kind of get into that. And my first 2 years, I was going through a few things with my family and friends and stuff like that, normal life stuff. But I was struggling with my mental health at the time. And so coming to Camp Me, it was cool to be in a place that I loved, because I love nature. My happy place is the lake. Everybody knows that. And so it was cool to be dancing and looking at my happy place physically there, not just like doing it in my mind. And so it really helped me like kind of realize like the mirror can be so like weakening, because I would look in the mirror and I'd be like, ooh, that's not good. But when I was here and I was looking outside, I was like, oh, like maybe I'm as pretty as like the trees. And I've definitely told Eddie that like once before about how that made me feel. And that's what I love, is like there's no mirror. Like you spend a week, or now it's like 4 days without a mirror, and it's just so awesome to just look outside while you're dancing.
So you mentioned earlier that Camp Me is a special place because it allows people to escape from the stuff.
The stuff
of life,
stuff.
the
Yes.
complications, the demands, the pressures. Well, unpack that stuff that they deal with.
Well, I think especially now, kids have to endure so many more things than I think I did as a kid their age. I mean, with all the things that happen with, you know, school shootings, how they're perceived on social media, body image, what they look like, how many friends do they have, are they smart, are they this, are they that? We want to create a safe space where we can build confidence. You know, it's really difficult. I mean, I think we all go through this. I still probably have those things in me.
Right.
How people perceive you feels so important to us as people. But we have to understand that it's such a minute thing. I want to build that mental balance for them. I want to help them.
Yeah. And you talked about who, you know, you can't always control who you work with and who you end up working besides. But you're working beside someone that you know very well, someone that's partnered with you. What is it like having your wife, Christine, here at Camp Me? What has she brought to the table for you?
She is my security blanket. She's the one that says, shh, it's okay. She does. No, she is my strength. Yeah. She, you know, like she came up yesterday and I was running around because, you know, trying to get this, trying to take care of, put out that fire to this, da-da-da. And she goes, shh. Take a breath. Look at what's around you. Look how great this is. She has always been supportive of my dreams. I try to be supportive of her dreams. It's why we're married. I mean, it's like on my bad days, she's like always got my back. I try to have her back. I try to be the personality, fun, yeah. But she's our calming spirit.
Yeah.
She's just like.
Well, you know, as a dancer who's been in the industry and a woman, I'm so appreciative a program like this exists for kids coming up now, because in the world, in the industry, especially in the dancer industry, the world is going to tell you who to be if you don't know who you are. And so a program like this is giving kids an opportunity to ask questions and be curious and experience things that they haven't maybe ever seen before. And the more we experience, the more our perspective widens. And then we decide what fires us up, who we want to be in this world. Because if you don't lock it in now, people are going to tell you who to be, and it's so easy to get steered in the dance industry about your body, about your mind, about what to believe. And so our hope is with this program, and as a woman in this program, I want to see these girls come up knowing that they are beautiful, they are perfect the way they are, that God has given them a gift, and it's their opportunity to share that with the world. And if they know who they are now, no matter what comes their way, they are going to stand strong. They are going to change the world instead of the world changing them. I'm hoping more and more young people, and especially young girls, get to experience Camp Me so that they can feel empowered, not just in their movement, but in their minds and in their hearts.
Man, what an incredible day. We loved coming here to Camp Me, and thank you for allowing us to share your story.
Yeah, and I know it's all about, you know, these kids fitting in. I don't really fit in because I'm wearing a black shirt.
Sorry.
We'll get to that later. I guess email didn't come through, but that's okay.
But thank you guys so much.
Thank you guys so much.
Awesome. This
was
incredible.
Thank you.
And you could see it on their faces in there. These kids are lighting up because of the experience you're allowing them to have. So hats off to you. Keep doing what you're doing.
We appreciate you too. We appreciate everyone out there, and thank you all.
Thank you.
Yeah. And you guys are off to a ropes course.
Yes.
And we're going to go get something to eat.
Amazing.
All right. There is so much energy here. I mean, this place is alive.
Yep, the energy is soaring because of what Eddie, Christine, and the rest of the staff have provided for these wonderful students.
You can't leave Camp Me without feeling empowered. I mean, Look behind us. These are the future stars, entrepreneurs, surgeons of the world, and they can go after their dreams now because of what they've been taught here at Camp Me.
That's right. I feel empowered. I was just here for a short amount of time. So hopefully you, watching at home, were able to witness this incredible rise effect.
And we'll see you right here next Tuesday at 5 p.m. Pacific. And until then,
be the rise.